Okay. I might start. Okay. How do I want to even get into this? There's certain things. There's been a lot of shadow coming out of a lot of people. This has been going on for years now, past couple years, 4 years ish. And there's been a bunch of stuff I already mentioned online. Some of the stuff I mentioned, what I'm seeing out of different people. How to describe this? I talked about this a little bit. There's some. What is the wording for this? I'm seeing a lot of shadow and a lot of darkness coming out of a lot of people, and I'm seeing a lot of stuff around father wounds, a lot of stuff about inner child wounds. And it was mentioned before online, and I've already mentioned it. There is groups of people that are getting really toxic. They're pulling really toxic stuff of what's coming out of them. People going into darkness, dark witchcraft. It was already mentioned by someone online that was teaching, and this was years ago, and I saw it too. There was everything from, like people actually, as groups, who are going into darkness, and some of the stuff that they were saying, doing. I'll give you some idea. One of my first teachers, I was in the bathtub, and she tried to entangle with my foot, and I hear amateur at me, and I went, what the hell are you doing? She did that. Yeah. Went off into darkness, went right out into the abyss, and she was lost in it. And I've listed off a bunch of other people, stuff I've seen in the past couple of years. I already said it. I had groups. I had stuff at different times where I had to hit back at different people, where I'm like, I'm not going to have people think they can attack me and pull that sort of stuff because people have gone off into darkness, which they did. Like literally, some of the people I've seen that just went straight into dark witchcraft in the past couple of years. And people that went straight into shadow, straight into darkness as groups. And it was to the point, how to describe this, what I've seen. So that first teacher had to learn how to meditate because she did spiritual attacks at me. Yeah, Amber Colbert had to learn how to meditate. Joan Litzberg, okay? They're both soul family members. She moved down below the fourth dimension. So you're multidimensional. She got to the point that the highest she could function at ended up being around the fourth dimension. I have seen Gabby Bernstein move down spiritually. I've seen Amber Colbert move down spiritually. I've seen Joan Litzberg move down spiritually. Chelsea Smith, yoga instructor, Sherwood Park, Alberta, went from a 600-foot energy field down to a 3-foot energy field. And I've seen her move down. I've seen some of her friends move down. Okay, so some of these people that thought they'd go off into darkness and pull some of the shit they've pulled, the really toxic shit that I've seen them do. And I mean, I have put stuff out there where I was doing clearings and I was seeing darkness. I literally have removed it from some of the people and put it to the side and gone, now look, this is what you look like without it. Okay? You get it? And then put it back on them to be like, your job to deal with it because they're being, how toxic they're being. Serious, because, okay, what is light? Okay, if somebody's in light is going to be more conscious. Okay? Somebody goes into darkness, what's going to happen? They go into darkness, they go in the shadow. Shadow is unconsciousness. So I'm seeing people that have gone to the point where I'm looking at them and I'm like, oh my God, they have not done the healing about the inner teen, the inner child, the father stuff. Maybe there's all that stuff in there, the trauma healing, all this sort of stuff. And then it's great. Now that person's gone into shadow. Oh, and now their inner child stuff's coming out. Oh, and now the inner teen's coming out. Now this. Oh, great. Now there's more than one of them, and birds of a feather flock together, and now they're acting like that. And you have to go, like, get away from them, cut the cord, stay away from them. It was said years ago, okay? And the woman said online, so she's a teacher, and she said, she said the same sort of thing about staying away, and something about, she said some of the things coming out of people, okay? Some of the shit I have seen in the past 4 years, people saying and how they're acting, I listed at the beginning of the video. Joan Litzberg projected beside my bed And this was in the past couple of years, and in the middle, for no reason, middle of the night, going, "Do you want one of my tits? Do you want one of my tits? Yeah, do you want?" And I'm like, "What the fuck?" And I'm literally rolling over to sleep and started acting like that. That's when someone goes right. They're in darkness. Went right into darkness, right into shadow. Let's see if I can give another example. Chelsea Smith, Sherwood Park, Alberta, was managing Moto Yoga there. Okay? So managing it, supposed to be a yoga teacher. Started writing on light posts. Left pictures on my car. Had my car kicked. $2,000 worth of damage in my old vehicle that I sold. And wrote on light posts and was writing stuff, things that you'd see like a teenage, I don't know how old you'd be to be doing stuff like that. And she's like 39 years old and wrote the word hell. I just started acting fucking nuts and had friends do stupid shit too. Fake website bullshit, all this. I'm like, oh my God, how do you explain to people like that have gone into that level of stuff? And you're like, oh my God, acting like that. Yeah. So this has been like 4 years of seeing stupid shit come out of people because they haven't done all the inner work. So it's the thing is, and I'm mentioning this, I've had enough of seeing it come out of people that are supposed to be fucking teachers, or they're supposed to be already in doing something spiritually. I already named off Gail Bernstein. Some of the shit I have seen, and then people on her behalf fucking pulled, and I was shaking my head, and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. And I've already said in different videos, I did hit back at different times because I'm not going to tolerate people, I don't know, going for a walk and attacking me psychically when I'm walking my dog, or group attacking me on the front lawn, or shit like that. Yeah, Chelsea Smith, or my one dog being psychically attacked, Chelsea Smith. Stuff like that, or like threatening me. Yeah. This is, I've said it in different videos, this is stuff that I've been seeing. I have seen, oh my God, how do I describe it? I'm viewing this, and I already said before in different videos, I've hit above galactic conscious now. Above. I've hit the 33rd dimension, spiritually years and years ago. And I was already galactic conscious like 5 years ago, maybe a little longer than that. And it was in the past little bit, I don't know how many months, hit above galactic. So I can really, really see stuff, okay? I can pick up on people, who they are. I can see all this stuff here. I don't even say it that way. I'm seeing this stuff and I'm going like, holy shit. There is so much that, there's so much shit inside people that were being, being fake? I was saying it out loud to some of these people, how fake some of these people are being, that they are not doing the shadow work, they're not doing the inner child work. Some of these people are going, oh, well, they want to do something spiritual, or move up, but they don't want to do all the inner work. They don't want to do that stuff. And I'm seeing it. So there's people in their 30s and 40s and 50s and 60s. Steve Hardison, was he 60s? 60? Who knows? Maybe older. I'll have to check that again. And there are people that have these huge inner child wounds, or father wounds, or shadow there. And I'm like, oh my God, the shadow's unconscious because they haven't done it. Maybe they don't know. I don't know. So I will see about getting into more about doing that. Maybe some of the inner child stuff at some point. But it's mentioning it. I'm mentioning it because if I see people start acting like that as a group, or I'm just like, oh, you got to be kidding me. Because it's nuts. Like I said, Amber there, the more how she started to act, and that was one of my first fucking teachers, how she started to act, and I went, oh my God. I pulled her out of the abyss, okay, lost in darkness, right, lost. I pulled her out of it, and I was like, oh man, that's great. And then I did stuff to help, I saw that with Jillian there, where multiple people said she just looked evil now, and we were like, oh great, so great, she's in that now, she's just doing the witchcraft, oh great, looks like some Lilith stuff in there, like, and both of them know Reiki. One of them used to teach Reiki, the other one has maybe hit a level 2, and both of them are dealing drugs now. Yeah. And then you've got Chelsea Smith, who's supposed to be a manager of Moto Yoga, and she had her groups doing group attacks. and kicking people's cars, attacking their dogs, writing on lampposts, all sorts of fucked shit. And like, are you fucking kidding me? You got Gabba Bernstein there, group bullying, group toxic shit, having people she knows, and all these sort of groups pulling this sort of shit. And there was over a year of just all of her shit coming out. It was super dark. And all it took was me going, I'm not going to put up with a response on a podcast that was toxic towards me, that I felt all this anger and all this bullshit for no reason when I just asked her opinion. And I was like, fuck this. And I did a response, which was not. And then next thing you know, what started to come up with people, and I went, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Like, I literally it all just started coming up, and I'm going, oh God, watching some of this shit. I mean, I was saying what was coming out of light workers, what was coming out of, and I still consider myself a light worker, I'm a shaman, but, shaman too, but like, the amount of shit that people have not dealt with around darkness and their shadow and their inner child. It's crazy. I mean, to be able to move up to a high level, so I have hit the 33rd dimension, like I said, above galactic, that's extremely high. Okay, I'm at a master level in this life. I was a former Ascend Master Joel. Cool. Okay, you need to do a lot of clearing. A lot of clearing. Okay? A lot of clearing. You cannot move up like you gotta do a lot of clearing. And so I'm seeing in a lot of, what am I seeing some of these people? They're not doing the healing around the mother and father wounds. They're not doing the inner child work. They're not doing the shadow work. They're in the darkness and dealing with all that sort of stuff. And there's some people in there that they just don't even, they're not wanting to even, they don't want to feel. They don't want to have to sit and feel. Don't want to have to be with themselves. They don't want to have to deal with all that inner stuff. And what happens? These same people are like, no, and just as Chelsea Smith on her thing, oh, out there spreading love and light. Bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. There is a complete other side to her where she's out there having people group attack. Okay? And pull stuff like that. And attacking people's dogs and pulling stuff like that. So it's the people that are going, no, like, everyone has to, you have to work through your shadow and your darkness, which is connected to your inner child. So if somebody's got a bunch of inner child issues and they are not dealing with their inner child, next thing you know, like, it will have to be separate posts. You have to integrate your inner child. You have to integrate your shadow. You have to work through your shadow. There is stuff within your shadow to look at. And then there is the inner child. The inner child has to integrate. Then it's not supposed to be child, adult, and one person separate. So 1 minute you're dealing with a child, next minute you're dealing with an adult, which I've seen. Like, it's nuts that I've seen people in their 30s, almost 40s, and they're a baby. They're a baby and they're an adult, but it's separate. And you're kind of like, oh, great. And then they go into shadow, and then it's like it's a baby in shadow doing crazy stuff, but they're in their 30s. And you're like, oh, great. And then this is stuff I've seen. This is stuff I have seen. And I'm going, oh my God, like, I swear there is people that have gone to the point of into the darkness or the shadow where you could be going like, look, like, this is going on. Like, I literally was on the phone. The only thing that got through to some of these people, I'll tell you, okay, I will explain it. Well, some of these women were acting nuts, fucking nuts, okay? Like, toxic nuts. And this is not me pushing the Christianity, but I did find Jesus, okay? You could say Ascended Master Jesus. Really did work well. It's a father energy, okay? Just like Christ conscious is a father energy. It's a father energy. So there's women being toxic. Let's say women's being really toxic with men. She's not going to be toxic with Jesus. Okay? Once again, I'm not pushing. This is not a Christianity thing. I'm just, like you say, former Ascended Master. Chances are she's not. She's not going to be. And these are women that are being just super fucking toxic. They've dealt with whatever. With their dad, other men, whatever. But they're being fucking toxic right in their shadow. And I noticed it. I'm like, yeah, put a little something up there about Jesus. Next time I'm like, oh, look at that. Look at that. That's interesting. I've seen that. Okay. We're literally just like, wow, what's it going to take? What's it going to fucking take? You're like, I've said it back psychically to different people and different women. I was like explaining to them, wow, this is what you guys are doing. Do not understand what's going to come back. Do not understand. And then next thing you know, it was like, holy shit. They're just so out into the darkness and the shadow and gone into their unconscious and haven't dealt with it and suppressed it. And they're in their 30s and 40s and 50s. I'm like, Oh, great. Oh, great. So that is, Jesus is like working with that energy. That's a father energy. It's father energy. So these women that have these huge father issues and all that, when you go and you when you're saying, okay, like, okay, something out there with Jesus, it is that energy. So I've seen this. So you know what I'm saying with a bunch of these women? They need reparenting. They need rewombing. They need to do all this sort of shit with the father. All this sort of shit. So they get really fucking toxic towards guys. And I've had enough of seeing this. I've had enough of seeing this. Yes, there has been guys that pulled stuff too in the past couple years, like going into this. Once again, some father wounds, that sort of stuff. People need to deal with, like, I don't get how people are not doing this. I used to, maybe because I when I really learned, like, I would be going, fucking sit there and deal with your shit, is what I want to say with some of these people. Look at the mother wounds. Okay, what are the mother wounds? What do you have to feel? What do you need to look at? Okay, your father wounds. What do you have to feel? What do you have to look at? Okay, the inner child. What do you have to feel? What do you have to look at? Sit there. Hey, boy, like, talk, okay? Hey, inner child, what do you want? Hey, shadow, what do you want? Hey, heart, what do you want? Body, what do you want? Soul, what is it you want right now? And do the inner work. Maybe they didn't know how to do it. Who knows? But some of these people were out there saying that, oh, they were a Reiki teacher. They shouldn't be out there fucking selling drugs. Oh, they already know they're Reiki level 2. They shouldn't be out there fucking selling drugs. Oh, they manage a Moto Yoga and they're a yoga instructor for years and years. What the fuck are they doing? Group attacking people's dogs, and getting their friends who also are still young kids in their third, but they're in their 30s to 40s because they haven't done the inner work. I've had enough of seeing that. When I owned a Reiki business, you know what I did? I was pushing people. I don't even want to say this. I used to, like, I don't even want to say pushing. It'd be like, back on your path. Back on your path. I wouldn't say I had to do it that way. Pretty much every single person that I was working on, it was like they had to go right back. Some of them knew healing, but I was like, no, like, yeah. I've said it out loud to some of these people, and I was like, like, psychically, of like, what the fuck don't you guys understand? What are you guys doing selling drugs in your fucking 40s? And you guys are supposed to be a Reiki teacher. You guys are supposed to be out there. Oh, what's that? Jill Mitchborg was up on stage with David Wolf, and she's a drug dealer. And the shit I've seen her do, as far as the spiritual shit, that I was like, what the fuck? Gone right into darkness, was looking evil. And I went, oh God. And she's up there with Dave Wolf. What the fuck? Her coach, which I've mentioned, right into darkness, was linking people on the astral plane in a pyramid using light workers, so light workers were, he was working with light workers, okay? So they were paying him. His name's Tarek Beebe out of Toronto, a coach. And he was using black magic and dark and reptilian energies. And she was actually trying to get people linked together with him to work together with that, as in be used for energy by him and her involved in that. And he'd be at the top of the pyramid on the astral plane. I remember when I perceived it, and I went, are you fucking kidding me? And then when I was clearing stuff, wanting corruption cleared, I picked up on YouTube. I went, wait a minute, his audios would be clearing. His audios are corrupt. So his audios, which I mentioned before, in his audios, he would mention, one, you'd have to throw in some consent in there. Do not consent to anything with his audios. Do not listen to his audios. And they'd want the part of you that protects yourself to step aside and just allow his audio, whatever's going on in there, just go in. Don't do it. Okay? I've been seeing a lot of black magic there around him and around Jillian. The dark witchcraft she's gone into, was trying to get people linked in pyramids. These are light workers, and then use them for energy to help manifest. And then there's out there, yeah. So this is marker, cut the cords. Yeah. And I mean, when people have gotten to that point, you like send, yes, I mean, cut cords. So I cut all the cords to no serve my great side. It's good. How do you describe it? Just stay away from them. Stay away from them. Cut the cords. Just cut the cords. When you've seen people get into that level of darkness, just cut the cords, because it is like if they have gone into that level of darkness and they're not even that, like some of these people, oh my God, it's nuts. It is fucking nuts what I have seen come out of people. If you guys heard the level of stuff that I dealt with Gail Bernstein, you'd be like, who the fuck? What, like, I don't want, no one should be listening to her, pretty much, okay? Nobody should be fucking listening to her. Nobody should be fucking listening to her. They shouldn't be. And I've had to, like, look at this of, like, oh my God, so great. Look what she's doing. Oh, wow, look at this person. Look, and, like, the most corrupt I've seen was her. I'd say probably she was up there. And then that first teacher of mine, when I went, oh my God, like, are you fucking kidding me? Holy shit. And then I found out she had a pattern of abusing men and abusing her boyfriend. And I went, oh no. Oh God, no. No. Yep. And, like, it's fucked because, like I said, that profile, that one there, oh, you know, they're spreading love and light and all this. I was like, oh my God, no. I've said it out loud to a bunch of them, how fake they are. That they are pulling the stuff that I have seen them do. Chelsea Smith and her friends did group attacks when love and light was sent to darkness. And they were doing a group attack. They were doing group attacks when love and light sent to their darkness. They did group attacks. Okay? Yeah. When I put stuff out there to clear dark witchcraft, anything, certain influences, okay, darkness, certain protection around certain influences, and I was seeing the darkness lift off of people. I said earlier, I've lifted the darkness off of people to show them psychically of like, holy shit, guys, you guys don't understand when, like, this is, yeah, so I'm under the influence of divine love and light, source energy, so fully under the influence of divine love and light, source energy, okay? People not knowing because they haven't learned about darkness. They haven't learned about what it look. Oh, what does it look like? What does darkness look like? What is reptilian light looks like? What does Luciferian light look like? What is darkness, reptilian? What's the other one? Pretty much darkness in general. What it can look like. It isn't necessarily going to look like what people think it looks like. Okay, like. There's people that it might not necessarily look dark, okay? So, like, reptilian energy can look a little high vibration. Something Luciferian, it can look like a certain form of light, but it's more of a, there's a feeling to it of like a, like, you have to see it and have the, you have to kind of go through it to be able to be, and then you're like, oh, that's what that looks like, okay? Just like when I'm like, oh, black magic, oh, witchcraft, oh, this. Do you know what I mean? Like it's one of those things that I'm like, I can just, that's this. They weren't realizing. So I'm fully under the influence of divine love and light, source energy. All right, Jillian went like, I was clearing stuff, and then Jillian was out there, dark witchcraft, trying to get people linked together with her coach, Tarek BB, to use their energy. In a pyramid on the astral. When I picked up on it years ago, I went, oh, fuck, you gotta be kidding me. Like, literally, how can I describe it? People were not, yeah, there's, how can I describe it? There was a bunch there. I wanted people to know. I was like, you fucking kidding me, because it's light workers, okay? So who are some of the people that are going there and they thought they're going to what? They're going to go there for, oh, they're going to learn about what manifesting from tarot. And the guy was going to link them in a pyramid on the astral plane and use them. And use their energy, which is fucked. Yeah. So Jillian was putting markers on people, trying to get them linked into stuff with that guy. He's a coach out of Toronto. BIBI. Tarek, Tarek, BIBI. Tarek's also a drug dealer. They partnered together in drug dealing. Okay? So people should know that. So that's the sort of stuff that's going on. It needs to, obviously, like, stuff is clear, darkness is clearing, all this sort of stuff from the planet, but it's been really fucking nuts to see, I won't say nuts, in the past 4 years to go, Oh, great. So that's 2 soul family members. Okay. Then, yeah, I said the thing with Chelsea Smith there. So that is supposed to be someone who's supposed to be a teacher. And I think she was supposed to manage that moto yoga. So how many people are going to her? How about that? That one. Yeah, Bernstein was pulling that. How many people, because it connected her, pulled stuff and went right off into where I went, oh my God, what are you guys doing? I said, okay. And I'm like, oh, and I was seeing it. And I kept seeing this and I'm watching and I'm like, oh, you fucking kidding me. Yeah. So people not doing their shadow work and some of the stuff that was coming out of certain people, because they haven't done their shadow work and haven't dealt with their darkness. Yeah. And then they haven't dealt with their inner child. So, yeah, I've kind of had enough of seeing it. Like, I've really had enough of seeing it. I've literally just, like I said, I've had a couple times where I just put stuff out there with Jesus where I was like, fuck this. Like, you deal with it. You deal with it. Oh my God, they need a dad. They need a dad. Holy shit, they need a dad. You deal with it. You deal with it. You deal with it. Holy crap. Oh, look at that. It's actually getting through to them. Oh my God. Look at that. Holy shit, that got through to them. Either it was, yeah, there's some people that are just like so out there. And I'm kind of like, oh, wow. So I would say cut cords if you're seeing people getting to that point and just don't connect. Don't try to, yeah. Yeah. Like like I said, I don't know how many times I have directly, psychically said it and was talking and just tried to say to them, do you guys understand like what you guys are doing? And you understand this is going on, whatever, and it's just almost like nah, whatever, and I'm like, oh great, and there's their inner child, oh great, and there's their father stuff, oh great, and now they're in darkness, now they're in shadow, now that one's looking, oh great, oh, so you gotta keep in mind, if somebody goes into darkness and right into shadow, the consciousness, if they go into a state that's more unconscious, which is the shadow, and they're right in it, and they haven't dealt with that stuff before and they don't know that, and you're like, oh great. So what do you think happens if you see somebody go from, like I said, I saw people move right down spiritually in dimensions or function and vibrate, all this sort of stuff, or all this sort of stuff. I went, oh great. So yeah, at that point you don't want to have to deal with them, because there's some of them that it's like you'd be dealing with like they would have gone to unconscious. Like I said, I've seen that with someone who's literally still a baby, and they're like, oh my God, like that's nuts to see how they're acting. I've seen that where I'm like picking out kind of, I'm gonna say it, where I'll be going, oh my God, I can see them, and I can see what's going on in them, and I don't want to have to deal with it. And no one has to, when you're seeing somebody get to that point, like I said, I'm not their dad, and if other people see that, it's not their responsibility to deal with it. That's the own person's responsibility to deal with their shadow and their darkness. And I thought more people would actually be sitting there dealing with their own, like actually sitting there going, this is what I did do before. This is what I was doing. What do I have to look at? And sit there and meditate. What do I have to feel? What do I have to look at? What do I have to feel? And then I'd be going, okay, is there anything else? Okay, maybe, yeah, okay, anything else I need to like learn? What? When I started, okay, I spent over 10 years, maybe 13, maybe more, definitely probably more than that, and just was just like going wanted to just, I don't even know if I should get into that on here, just for ascension stuff of just like going and going and going until I would be going, okay, do I need another teacher? Okay, what else I need to learn? And then eventually it's like, you are the teacher. That came through. You are the teacher. I'm like, okay. I don't get it when I'm seeing some of these people that already know some sort, either they're a teacher, there are energy healing, or they're into this spirituality supposed to be seriously, and I'm seeing some of the stuff in them, I was like, are you kidding me? And they're not, like some people just don't even want to feel, of like, oh, but that's gonna, Amber Colbert is a good example of that, of like wanting to move up spiritually, and it's like, oh, and she doesn't want to have to feel her emotions. Oh great, and look how she's acting. Oh yeah, this is a marker. Cut the cords, Hamilton. Yeah, people not wanting to have to feel their emotions, or how toxic certain women. I've pointed this out in a couple women now. There's women that have gone into darkness because oh, they've got a bunch of stuff with their heart. They don't want to keep their heart open. They don't want to feel. And then they have an issue with some guy from the past or their dad or some issue, and they don't want to walk around with their heart chakra open. So they're getting toxic with men and abusive with men and pulling all sorts of stupid shit because they don't want to actually have to keep their heart chakra open and feel. Because they don't want to have to feel everything because it might hurt. If they knew some of the women that I know that I'm friends with that are strong women, that are powerful women, that have hit like Christ conscious and have really cleared some serious stuff and done a lot of inner work, when I see women act like that and I see people act like that, I shake my head and I know stuff that I've cleared and level I've hit. And it's just like, I don't want to hear it. Like, do your fucking inner work, okay? No one else can. Yeah, if somebody, seriously, if they're acting like that, oh no, it's going to hurt if you feel what's inside that has to come and clear it. So what they do? They close their heart, they walk around, and then they start getting toxic. So how many examples can I give you this? Holy shit. Amber Colbert is like a wounded animal. Like a wounded animal. Like you picture started acting kind of nuts in the past couple years. Like a wounded animal. And she has a bunch of stuff with her ex-boyfriends. Doesn't want to have to feel it. Doesn't want to clear it to everybody. Yeah, so these same people, what are they going through with their health? And they don't want to have to feel it to get it out of the body. Yeah. Oh, but it's going to hurt. Oh, well, then get it out. Do it and get it out. Joan Wisborg, same sort of thing with ex-boyfriend. What is it with women like, but these women are hurt. Holy shit. Which one you get? Do you want it in your? Do you want that in your body? No. I don't even want to say it that way. Stop being so fucking toxic with men. Okay, these women acting like that, and actually, I said it loud. I've found it very cowardly how some of them were acting when they needed to keep their heart chakra open, and feel everything to clear it out of their body. So there literally is. Like, how can I describe it? There's women that are getting toxic with men because they're worried about being hurt because they'd really like the man. And it's bringing up the stuff from their past relationships that needs to come out. So they're getting toxic with a guy that they like because it's hurting because of something from a past guy. And they're not dealing with it. Yeah, because they don't have to feel. Yeah, that's not, because some of those women didn't want to have to feel everything. There is stuff that I had a friend that had 4 years I had 4 years, I don't even know if I want to get into that on this, or that'll be on a podcast. Stuff that I know of women that I've been friends with that are actually strong, powerful women, okay, that have actually gone and cleared stuff and stuff they've dealt with, and then I see some of these women that I don't consider that. I've said it loud before, being weak, like a weak woman, when there is powerful women too, and being toxic with men, because the woman was not feeling everything, wanted to close her heart chakra down, wanted to be toxic, had some issue with past men, and wasn't dealing with it. And so a guy could show up and be like, hey, and they could be like, you could show up and you could treat them well, all this sort of stuff. And because were not keeping the heart chakra open, they had all this stuff in them that they didn't want to have to actually deal with. They could be getting toxic towards the guy, and it could even be guys they like. Like you literally could have it like, serious. This is stuff that's happening where they didn't want to keep their heart chakra open. That's it. Of like, oh no, that's hurting. They had it in them. They already had it in them. Well, it's bringing up everything in them that has to come up. But they weren't wanting to deal with it. Yeah. If it comes up, if something comes up in me, I'm like, okay, that has to come up. And then you get it out, you clear it. You don't go, oh, snap your heart chakra down. Oh no, you close it, and oh no, whatever. Yeah, so it's women that didn't want to keep their heart open, didn't want to fully be women and be in their feminine, and they wanted to go into, say, masculine and start getting toxic towards men. Some of them are actually even trying to go in the mask and go up against guys, even guys they like, because they didn't want to have to feel. Yeah. and they felt like, oh well, how are they like supposed to be in their feminine, like super toxic shit. I'm seeing women pull that are like this, super fuck. Gab Bernstein's a great example. Fucking toxic as hell, super toxic. Amber Colbert, fucking toxic as hell. How toxic I've seen Jillian Wisborg be. How toxic I've seen Chelsea Smith be. Some of these women like really toxic shit. Oh, these women don't want to be in their fat. They don't want to keep their heart chakra open. They don't want to have to fully feel everything. But it might hurt. I don't care if it hurts. You fucking get it out of your body. I'm not going to say it that way. Holy shit. I have a friend. I don't want to go into full detail, but I know the stuff she's been through. And I've seen what she cleared out of herself. And I've used ayahuasca the past couple. I'm not going to get into that right now. But what other people, what women have been through that was way past what some of these other women, and they cleared it out of their body, and they did it. So I don't want to hear it of like, oh well, you know, a guy like hurt your feelings in the past a bit, and now your heart chakra's closed, and it wasn't like a guy abused them, okay? And it's just like, holy crap, like really, like literally, okay. So how to describe this? Face your stuff that's inside and clear it out of your body, because I'm tired of seeing women, certain women get fucking toxic with men. I really had enough of seeing that, because it's so fucking toxic, because they just don't want to feel. It's really weird. It's really weird, especially if you see some of these women that are being like that with guys they even like, and it's like, whoa, like they like the guy. So it's really weird. So there was actually a thing where they were, imagine this. There's a guy they like, or starts to bring up all the positive stuff of like, oh, they're feeling the love, like feeling all those emotions come up. What else happens? Brings up the other emotions. Oh shit! Turns out that woman's got a bunch of there's whatever, name it in there. Oh, there's whatever. She feels unsafe. She feels angry. She feels whatever, hurt, whatever. Oh yeah, that's not the response. That's their stuff to clear out and feel. Oh, next thing you know, boom, she's getting toxic with the guy, closes her heart chakra down, tries to go into masculine, and she's getting toxic towards the guy for no reason other than that, because she doesn't want to feel. This is stuff that's been going on. Yeah. Men can do this too, but I've seen this I've seen some women acting like this. I'm like, oh God. And then there's other women who are heart chakra open. That's what I do. Walking around, just keep it open. Keep your heart chakra open. Oh, but it's gonna feel what? Different. It's gonna be like, oh, your heart's open. Yeah, they'll have to be in their feminine. They'll have to be women. They'll have to be women. Yeah. So if they had issues with that, they have issues with their mom. They have issues with being a woman, they have issues with their mom. Issues with men, they have issues with their dad. Oh, but then they're gonna have to heal that. Holy crap. And then that's probably gonna hurt a bit. Even if it hurts more than a bit, that they have to do it. That's them. They have to do it. They have to do it. And they don't understand how far this goes. Holy shit. Does the woman want to, how the woman acts as a woman? That's mother. How she treats men? That's father. Okay, so you got those things. One is masculine, one is feminine. Feminine's past, masculine is future moving forward. One is yang, one is yin. Okay? One is you're kind of like the action, more of yin is more of the yes, the rest. Okay? And this connects in all different areas. There is a universal law, masculine, feminine. It goes, people don't realize how everything connects. Okay? So I'm noticing that of like, oh, well, the inner child work, it's going to whatever going. Yeah, it will feel like, oh, all the painful inner child. Yeah, go and do it. Literally, that is how I'm going to act now. So I'm going to say it that way. If I see that with someone, if like, yeah, and go and do it. Oh, about my inner child, do it. There's a lot of other people who are doing it. I know what it's like to do it. Then just go and do it. Like, because I'm seeing people that don't do it. So the inner child and the shadow are like this. So you see really like, oh God, look how dark, how whatever someone's being, and I'm like, what's their inner child doing? What's going on with their inner child? Oh, well, what? They haven't done their inner child work. Then they clear that, and then they work directly with the shadow with that, the two of them together. And it's like, oh, that's going to be like, whatever. Is it painful? Whatever, because they have to look at all the stuff that they probably don't want to have to, they don't want to have to deal with it. Because some of them don't want to have to be alone with it. They don't want to feel all of that. Because I've even said it out loud. I was like, oh wow, look how fucking, like literally named how toxic they're being and was pointing it out to them. Like, look at this. And some of them are acting like, no, that wasn't, someone else was doing, no, that wasn't, they didn't see their shadow. They didn't know certain things. That is them. That's them. Their shadow is them, but they have to look at it because it was unconscious. So it's a part of, it's them, but it's unconscious. Then they have to look at it, and then all of a sudden they go, oh, I'm like, that's still them, but now they're going to see it. And then they have to integrate it. And then their inner child. And the ways all this can show up, there is people that have health stuff that's going on because of inner child. There is money stuff because of inner child. Relationships, tons of stuff. Then there's shadow stuff that shows up in different ways in people. The mother stuff, the father, this all connects in all different areas. And once you see it, once you've done it, when I could see it, I was like, oh, wow. And they don't realize it. Yeah. Like, do I want to get into it more? Oh, okay. That's I don't know. There's it's toxic. Yeah. So if I'm seeing that, there is men obviously that need to deal with this stuff too. But I mean, the shit coming up towards men that is just toxic, fucking toxic shit from women, because they have exes in their past that they actually dealt with all the emotions that are still there? No. Oh, okay. Have they cut the cords with the guy? Oh, have they cut the sexual energy cords? Have they cleared that energy? Have they fully? Yeah. Are they actually being open and feeling everything? Oh, I know you. Well, that's gonna hurt, and heart, and that sort of thing. And I'm like, oh, that's great. So while they're not willing to deal with that, they're out there acting like what? They're doing what? Heart chakra's going like this, snap, 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 and still instead of staying open. And then I'm seeing how they're acting towards certain men, what they're doing with men, and I'm like, oh, that's great. All sorts of weird shit coming out of when you see a woman, the women they're being really toxic, abusive from the beginning. Oh, look how fucking manipulative. Oh, Mary Forleo, there's one I mentioned. So fucking manipulative. So Gabrielle Bernstein. Those are father wounds. Father wounds. Oh, how they are as women. Those are mother wounds. Oh, all that darkness and shadow. That's inner child wounds. Birds of a feather flock together. Birds of a feather flock together. I see it in one person. Look at the group. I don't even say it that way. Every person in their group, you will notice those same wounds. It's another thing I wanted to mention at some point. You'd see the same thing in all of them. Oh, look at that group of women. Oh shit. They all have father wounds. They all have the inner child wounds. They all have that. But the difference is, let's say I said how toxic our burns can be. Does it mean every single woman in that group is going to be toxic? Not necessarily. They can all have father wounds. Does it mean they're all going to be out there being crazy toxic? Not necessarily. I've seen her be abusive. Some of them it might be in different way, certain things, but you'll find it, okay, when you see it. And I've seen that over and over again in groups, specifically of like, oh no, that's not in that one. I'm like, wait. And then all of a sudden, boom, it comes out. You're like, see, all of them. Birds of a feather flock together. I wanted to mention they're not doing their inner work. Like, maybe I'll do this at some point and list it off of like the mother wounds, the father wounds that has to be healed. There is so many areas that I know about with this stuff. I've learned okay, so mother wounds, father wounds. Then you gotta do the shadow work, the inner child. You gotta do the ego. Okay? Then you gotta look at the darkness. You need to look at the trauma. And the trauma is a whole other area. And then from that, there's even more. There's more stuff. What are they supposed to be doing? Like there's more of that about life purpose, soul mission, all that stuff. There's more with that too. So like the spiritual, like the inner work and all this, there's a lot in there. Then there's the inner teen too. So in general, I noticed that like areas that will have to maybe be another post, but the inner teen is another area I've been seeing with different people. You're seeing one like, holy fuck, does she have a lot of the inner teen and anger? I'm noticing are like this. They're like this, and that's another thing. It's not fun. Yeah, I don't want to get into that on this post at all. But yeah, women. I'm seeing this. This is pretty common. I'm seeing now women not wanting to feel. I'm like, oh no, like of course it. they're not wanting to feel all the shit in them. They're not, I don't even want to say it that way. They don't want to have, they want to see certain stuff. Oh, well, they're willing to feel, they'll feel this, this, and this. Okay, now go out and feel all the fucking anger you've got from, I don't know, a guy in your past, whatever. You were, whatever, in your past. Oh, well, whatever. What happens? They don't feel it. Maybe it represses. What happens there? Oh, well, certain things, they repress, suppress. Boom, something goes into shadow. They're out there with a guy. Boom, that comes out in shadow, and then it's unconscious. Then that guy is getting treated like what? Because that woman didn't want to deal with her shit, didn't want to deal with all her stuff. And you're kind of like, oh, great. And men can be like, they can solve that too. Or you look at it and you do the shadow work, and then it's kind of like, oh, wow, there isn't the unconsciousness, because you can see it. You can see it in yourself. So you can be like, oh, wow. Or if something came up and you're like, oh, wow. And you can see your own, let's say you've seen your own shadow, like, oh, yeah. I just said that. Oh, wow, I just did that. Oh, okay. And you can actually look at and and it's conscious. It's, oh, man. I don't know how people are in their like literally 40s, 50s, 60s. Some have been in their 70s. And I'm like, whoa, look at that shadow that still needs to be dealt with. Like, holy shit. Still needs to be dealt with. So it is, yeah. People don't realize how much all this stuff connects in different ways. It really, really connects. And it's just people not wanting to, like, I can't even imagine that. Of like, but I don't want to have to feel that. Why? Because it's going to hurt. I was like, oh, you have something from an ex in there. Yeah, but it's going to hurt, and I don't want to have to feel that. And it is, okay. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, great. So they're just going to just let that be in there and close their heart shock off at different times and just turn around and be like, what, with men? Oh, great. And I'm seeing women, they're acting like this, but here's the fucked, okay. There is women, they're being so fucking toxic with men, but with women with women, it might be like, oh no, they're, how do I say it? Do I say it, not to like a different person? No, how do I want to say this? Well, some women might not realize how their friends are with men. That could be part of it. They might not realize it. They might think their friend is whatever, and then you go, but how are they with guys, with men? Oh, they're this. Have you actually been around them when they're with guys? How are they acting? How are they treating the men? What are they actually doing? What are they acting like? No, they're this and that. And it's like, how are they? How are they treating the men? Yeah. That's another one. I've seen. Because there's women out there, because they need to do their shadow work. They might have friends that they think are, I can describe it, not even close to who the woman is. And I've seen this now. No, they're this. And I'm like, have you, and I could list off what their friend was doing with men and how they're treating men. And I was like, yeah, that's not a good woman. This is what she's doing with men. This is how she's treating men. This is what she's like. She's acting like this. And no, she's like this. I was like, this is what she did. This is what they're doing. And you're like, oh, and it's shadow, and it's inner child, and it's father wounds, and it's all this sort of stuff. So that needs to be dealt with. Because, I have female friends of mine who do their shadow work, their inner child work, and all that. You should hear the difference. It's a huge difference. It's like, oh, they're like respecting men. Oh, wow. They can see, they can deal with their own emotion, their shadow, their own emotion. Oh, and they end up being like Christ conscious. And you're like, oh, that's nice to talk to a woman who's at that level of like, oh, that's really nice to feel that energy. And oh, they respect men. And oh, wow, they just deal with that instead of like, it's serious. There is some serious, the amount of shit that comes out. If somebody's not wanting to fully feel of it, you can't repress. If somebody tries to suppress, and it just, when it comes out, or people, oh my God, Gabby Bernstein's like an example. Insane toxic that came out. I was like, oh, not that came out, just fucking toxic person, really fucking toxic. But what I saw, I was like, oh my God, how in the fuck did somebody who is just about 50 have that level of shit in them that was already supposed to be out there teaching for how long? And I went, oh my God, like, are you serious? Like, I have to keep looking. I was like, oh no, oh my God, yeah, there's more. It just kept coming and more, like more and more, and I was like, oh no, like you'd think that people would see that stuff and be like, okay, work through it, just feel it and clear it. I'm like, oh no, and it just kept going, or some sort of just I've really had enough of seeing women that would pull that toxic fucking shit and not want to. They didn't want to fully be in their feminine. They wanted to go into like masculine and start challenging a guy when they're being really toxic towards the guy. And it's like, wow, she doesn't want to fully be a woman, be in her feminine, doesn't want to feel everything. And you're looking at it as like, that's because of like something with a guy in their past or whatever, the darkness and shadow in them, and they don't want to have to feel it all and deal with it. And you're just kind of like, oh wow. Um, yeah, yeah, like, yeah, it seems to be a thing I've seen in the past couple years where I've seen a bunch where it's like, wow, that woman just does it. That one, she doesn't want to feel. She doesn't feel. And I picked up on it. And I even said it loud. I was like, oh, why do I want to feel? Oh, because it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. And you know, they don't want to have to feel hurt, any hurt, because those emotions would hurt. And I was like, yeah, that's in there and that's in there. Yeah. Oh, well, that guy that you liked brought up all the hurt or whatever the shit that was in you, and you didn't want to feel it. So you closed your heart chakra down, probably start getting whatever with the guy, and it wasn't his fault, and it just did one of these. That was already in their heart to come up and out, and they didn't want to feel it. So what they do, they went, oh, heart chakra, and really, I mean, I don't want to do it that way. Fuck that. It's keep it open, and actually, yeah. And what will happen? Oh, they'll go into their feminine. Oh, the ego will go shh because you're letting go. Oh my God, now that's affected all these other areas. It's weird. I could mention, well, I did mention Sorrel more in different ones. What happened? She had a divorce from her ex. I put out the energy healing. I mentioned this in another video. What happened? Thought I was like talking to her, like, how do you describe it? When I talked to her maybe a little bit in a private message, it would have had to been snap the heart chakra to hurt from a divorce. I'm putting my arm out. Heart chakra go like this. It would go maybe into some masculine, like, oh no, like, are you trying to talk to me, or are you trying to talk to me? And the energy is like hurt, instead of being open and feeling what needed to come out. When it was happening, she went off and just posted some people post some videos towards me. I'm like, what the hell is going on? How she was acting. And then Psyche was like, oh, like it was very clear. It was like, oh, she doesn't want to have to feel the hurt. She doesn't want to feel hurt. She doesn't want to have to feel the hurt in there. That's all it is. So all these women just don't want to have to feel. They don't want to have to feel. So these are still women. They're like, oh, we're doing the inner work, spiritual. We're doing all this work. And it's like, oh, yeah, okay, cool. Right here, your stuff about your ex-husband. Feel all of it. Get out of your body. I don't want to feel that that's really going to hurt. That's really going to hurt. And I don't want to have to feel that heart chakra close. Now we're going to get people make videos about you because this hurts my heart that you brought. And I'm like, oh, you fucking kidding me? Yeah. This is stuff that's happening. Yeah. And then you'll see that in their friends too. The same sort of stuff. And those are the same women like, that guy over there. And then you find out the rest of it. Like, oh, you mean they were just talking to you and like, I don't know, being nice to you and it brought up shit for you and you didn't want you didn't want to have to feel it? Well, yeah, something about, oh, fuck. Oh, that, yeah, hurt and it was him. And it was like they didn't want to keep their heart open and a guy was being nice to you and you just had a bunch of hurt in you. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, it's, yeah, it is literally like, how to describe it? So there is going to have to be people that are going to have to go. I'll say it in another video. I might have to teach a video about stuff about. It sounds lame. It sounds condescending if I said about feeling. I don't want to get into that. But like, sit. What do I have to feel? Sit. What do I have to look at? Sit. Oh, that feels like this. I will say another video. I think I even did it, a specific healing for it where how I had people clear certain stuff out of their body with emotions. You feel it. You have to. And I know you feel it. You sit there like, oh man, that's so. Oh well, that hurts with that. Oh, that old relationship. Yeah, then you clear it out of the body. You keep your heart chakra open. I set an intention to keep my heart chakra open all times. Okay, what are you feeling? Oh, that's coming up. Yeah, then you let it come up. Oh, but that's gonna hurt. Then you feel and you get it out of you, and then that creates space. Yeah, but they didn't want to have to feel it. That would be a whole other video about. But that's gonna hurt. I'm not gonna say how to describe that about the spiritual. Maybe they haven't never learned grace before. Maybe they don't know about certain stuff spiritually that is I don't even want to get into that one on this video. Yeah. Get it out of their body. Get it out of their body. Keep their heart chakra open and get it out of their body. Yeah. I don't feel it's good if you're just like, oh, well, it's like, what's the word for it? I'm not saying, it depends on the person, how I teach it and describe it. But there is sometimes with some women and in some men, I'd be like, you know what? Just feel it, all right? Just get it out. Oh, well, just feel it and get it. Okay, good. Now you're doing it. Fine. Finally, good. Get it out of your body. Oh, there you go. Next thing you know, boom, heart's more open. They're more in their feminine. And they just now there's a big space. And it's just like in life. And then what will happen? Something new can come in there. Yeah. So what ends up happening for her, in her case, it goes to other areas. Oh, next thing you know, you hear she has a hard time cuddling. Oh, why? Because of heart chakra. It all connects. This isn't one thing. When people will realize as you keep moving up spiritually, everything connects. So boom, she's got that going on. Then that goes to another. I would have to do a whole separate thing. That will connect to all these different areas for her because of that one area. It is not just one small thing. It would be like, oh, now this is going to affect these areas for you. Just all this sort of stuff. Because you got to keep the heart chakra open. And you have to feel. Yeah. 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 And I've seen this in multiple women now. And including women that were interested in men that they really liked. Of like, wow, I'm feeling this love coming up. Or like, really interested in, and what started happening at some point, boom, heart chakra, like, no, oh no, I'm having to, and this could be from them actually feeling like, well, this is like actually having some strong feelings coming up, or like really feeling that, and then maybe something came up in there of, old stuff, there was other emotions, or just something in there of like, so I guess it is, no matter what, you keep your heart chakra open. Oh, but what if there's fear that whatever comes up, then you feel the fear. Oh, what if there's something about it doesn't work out, then you keep your heart chakra open. What if there's like pain, then you feel the pain. Oh, what if there's no other, there is no keep it closed. No, you don't keep your heart chakra. Holy shit, you have to keep your heart chakra open no matter what. But if they're not used to it, it's going to feel like, oh, but my heart's open, and well, it's open now, and it's so open, and I'm like, oh, I feel open. Yeah, exactly. And I'll walk around like that. And like, oh, but that's not used to it. And they'd have to be letting go more and probably being their feminine more. And if it's women that are used to going into masculine when they're afraid, this is going to be like whoa, you want, because they'll be way more in their feminine. And they will have to feel what's underneath all of that. When they were not before closed, masculine, we're going to do this. Instead, it's going to be like, open. And it's probably stuff underneath there that they didn't realize, when it's probably something like, if they knew what I could pick, well, I picked up on it, but you could see it, but some of the stuff with women in there of, that will be other posts about stuff, some of that. Yeah. Not wanting to feel. And this isn't every woman, but what I described, they would have to feel. They'd have to feel whatever that is. But if the heart chakra's open and they're not in their masculine, and a guy comes along and something happens, and you know what happened in the past, like, yeah, then you feel whatever that is. Oh, but it feels like whatever it feels like, then you feel it. Oh, but it feels like, yeah, then you feel whatever that is. And then it comes and clears out your body, then you've created space. Oh, but it's going to be, whatever. If it's painful, then it's painful. Then you just let it clear out of the body. Oh, but it would, yeah. And they're not, yeah. Yeah. Why is it I'm saying, yeah. The only reason it's still there is they would go like this. Heart chakra, heart chakra. Oh, it got my heart chakra. And I keep my heart chakra open at all times.